Pedersen following. I'm the Alien Pope, and thank you for joining us. Here's our first episode. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, faithful, what we're going to talk about is the coming season and the lineups that we want to see. Now, you faithful flock are going to be having some opinions about things, and even some of the things that we predict may change. Example, we had some thoughts about things like Dakota Joshua no longer being in the lineup. It is unfortunate that he can't join us, but he is off doing doing missionary work for the Holy Church of Pedersen. So we wish him the best of luck in getting some converts for us. And yet we still have possibilities of adding to this team, and these lineups would then change. So as of right now, which is July 23rd, we will be looking at what we have and what in our mind makes the best sense for a lineup. And we'll explain why. Because it's about making that holy connection and getting those holy red lights than it is about our feelings, isn't it now? Okay. Let's start and take a look at this. So, for the first lineup, what we're looking at and what we expect is, of course, we're going to have the almighty Petey himself on center. And we predict or prophesize that he is going to be bringing us a 90-point season. Now, it was a little bit of a hiccup last season, and there's a lot of people out there saying, you know, he's not going to be doing that. But I'm telling you, he has had a summer of reflection, and he's going to bring us his best because we brought him our best. And if you believe in him, he will make magic happen. So, centering with, of course, Brock Besser on his wing, those two do have a dynamic and a beautiful orchestrating manner of play. Those two guys can make angels sing. And when we bring Evander Kane into this first lineup, we're bringing that physicality. We're bringing that net front presence. We're bringing that toughness that we've lost with Joshua. Okay? Here's a guy who can go into the dirty zones, because even in the church's pew, we don't like to get to those corners. But he does. And he will get to those corners, and he will achieve the holy goal of retrieving that puck and bringing it out so that Brock and Pedersen can make their magic. So this trinity, this holy trinity of power and play is going to be bringing us so many goals. We're predicting this line alone having 210 points. This is going to be one of the most productive NHL lines this season. Bank on it. Pray about it. Bring holy words to it. Give your grace and say your Hail Peteys, because this will happen. Now, on to the second line. The second line was a little bit more difficult because, to be fair, we've lost a little bit of depth in some of the moves, and we are praying that Patrick Alvin, the holy administrator of the Vancouver Canucks, fills the spots so that this is a deep and powerful team. For the second line, we are looking at In center, Heidel. He has the potential, we are prophesizing here, to bring us 50 points, and we're going to say easily. Easily. Now, there's a lot of concern about his health, but we are telling you right now, he is going to play and play healthy. This man has been blessed, and we will protect him with our prayers and words so that he can ensure the second line is a dominating force. With him, Connor Garland, the high energy disciple, the one that brings consistency into the word of the Church of Pedersen. With him, Jake DeBrusk. We're predicting he's going to have a nice 55-point season. DeBrusk thriving as a two-way winger. He's going to capitalize on Heidel's speed and his career year, that the two of them are going to become one of the most dynamic lines out there. And bring in Connor Garland's high energy, never giving up, consistent drive. These guys are going to play like a first line. We are predicting 170 points from this line. And that is what most other first lines in the NHL will be bringing. 170. Prophesized. Bank on it. The third line, and this one was a little bit tougher to really play with. Some people are going to disagree, but we prayed on this and we thought on this, and we got given a message that the best third line is going to be Ratty in center. We're predicting a 35-point for this guy. He is going to be that third line center that people didn't expect. With his face-off strength and his two-way play, this boy is going to be leading. And I say, boy, he's a man. And man, is he going to be leading. On his wings, we expect to see Hoglander putting out one of his best seasons yet. We're going to say prophesizing for 40 points. Hoglander is going to have a career high in goals. And on the other wing, Leckermanty. Leckermanty is going to be breaking out with his elite shot and becoming a scoring threat on the third line that other teams cannot ignore. They will have to pay their respects to Leckermanty. They will have to bow to the Church of Pedersen and its disciples. They will have to bow down to Leckermanty and say, we are not worthy. For us of little faith, did we come to you, Leckermanty, on the third line and give you space and give you ice and let you score those holy red lights. They will say, we did not give you the respect you needed. And when they figured that out, it will be too late. Because the Church of Pedersen will bring forth, because the Church of Pedersen and its followers are going to bring forth the prayer. We're going to bring forth the noise, because in the sacred arena, these holy trinities, they're going to bring the faithful flock of the Church of Pedersen the most something or rather another that you've ever seen. The fourth line, the ones that bring the consistency that's needed, the ones who are going to be that depth that we rely on, the ones who are going to outshine the other fourth lines out there, the ones who will make us proud, the ones who you will cheer for and call out their names. At center, Teddy Bluger. We're predicting he's going to have at least a 20-point season, and that's an easy low number for him. He is going to have one of his best seasons. He is defensively reliable. This guy can win us faceoffs which require discipline, practice, anticipation, and spiritual discipline. For physical training has some value, but pediness has value for all things. It reminds me of a parable. There was once a hockey player named Eli, known for his skill in the face-off circle. Each game he stood at center, ready to battle for the puck. Eli knew that winning the face-off could set his team on a path to victory, but losing it might give the opponent the upper hand. He trained diligently, studying his rivals and strengthening his hands, much like the farmer preparing his fields for the harvest. One day Eli faced a fierce opponent, a giant of a center renowned for never losing a draw. Before the game, Eli prayed, remembering the words of the almighty Dikipidi. The battle is won not only in strength, but in heart and wisdom. And as the referee prepared to drop the puck, Eli recalled that he must trust in the almighty Dikipidi in his training, and Eli focused not on his opponent's size, but his preparation and faith. And when the puck dropped, Eli moved with precision, trusting his training, remembering the words of Dikipidi, and with a swift flick of his stick, he won the face-off, sending the puck to his teammate, who scored the winning goal. After the game, Eli shared with his team, just as we prepared for the face-off, we must prepare our hearts for life's challenges. For trust in the almighty Dikipidi, train diligently, and act with courage when the moment comes. That is a parable of the face-off. Now, back to the fourth line. We already talked about Bluger, and then we interrupted it with a parable. On his wing, Drew O'Connor. Now, Drew O'Connor, some of you might not know who he is. He is going to bring some speed, some depth, energy, and what we need, some size. He's a big boy, and he is going to be, we prophesize him at 25 points. And then on the other side, Kiefer Sherwood. Sherwood brings physicality and some depth, although he could be replaced if but it definitely does allow us to bring some size and physicality to that fourth line. On defense, of course, the apostle of all defensemen in the NHL, the one who bows to Elias Pettersson and none other, Quinn Hughes. We're predicting an 80-point season from him. Now, this captain and Norris caliber defenseman, he's going to be leading the power play. You're going to see this guy just rocking. We say 80 points, but to be honest, it's on the low end. We're going to expect something more, but he's at least easily going to be hitting 80 points. And of course, his partner, Philip Hronek. Philip's two-way play complementing Hughes and being able to log those big minutes. This guy's a puck-moving, solid two-way defenseman that complements Hughes immensely. He also can produce when it comes to goals and assists. This guy's going to be bringing us 45 points this season. This pairing is on the board for 125 points. These guys are going to be driving the blue line, and they're going to be the best. You heed our words. Listen to our prayers, for we know what will come. Second pairing, you're going to see the Junior Elias Pettersson, the same namesake as the Almighty himself. But Junior Petey's going to bring poise and defensive stability with an offensive upside. We're predicting 25 goals. We're prophesizing 25 goals from Junior Pettersson. And with him, who else? None other than Tyler Myers. Now, his veteran presence is going to provide a lot of mentorship for Junior Petey. And we think that that's going to be a great pairing. Prediction for them, prophesizing for them, a 40-point pairing. Balancing youth, experience, and being able to handle the tough matchups. These guys are going to be out on the penalty kill. These guys are going to be out for those hard minutes as a second pairing. Third pairing is going to be, we're prophesizing, one of the new pickups, Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Now, a lot of people might not know much about him. He's 26, a little French-Canadian boy, kind of like that. But we're going to prophesize that he comes back with 20 points. And with him, we're going to prophesize that Forbert gets to play with him. He re-signed. He's a good shutdown, penalty kill, reliable type of defenseman. Not high on generating points, but he is the strength and consistency that we need in the back end. This guy is one of the best shutdown defensemen and excellent on the penalty kill. That's where his strengths are. And sometimes you don't see the strengths of a disciple, but he brings a lot. And that is the lineup. Of course, now we have goalies, which is not too difficult. We're going to predict Thatcher Demko and Kevin Lankinen. Wow, who would have thunk? But here's what we're thinking. You're going to see Thatcher Demko managed and playing 45, 47 games. And you're going to see Kevin Lankinen, who was amazing last year, pulling in 40, the high 30s, low 40s. And by balancing these two players and keeping them both healthy, they're going to be able to bring us that much closer to the Stanley Cup. Oh, just the words off my tongue is like honey. The Stanley Cup. But if they can manage their health and they can play together off of each other, you're going to see these guys at the 920s for save percentages, 2.5 goals against. I'm not a big fan of goals against. Save percentage is a much better stat. But lo, these twin guardians clad in pads of righteousness shall stand as sentinels before the nets of the Canucks, their eyes like eagles, their hands swift as the wind, and they shall turn aside the pucks of affliction, thwarting the assaults of our adversaries forwards. As it is written in the book of saves, two shall rise above all. Their gloves shall catching the dreams of their people, and their blockers shielding the hopes of the faithful. And the people shall sing praise in the arenas, chanting, "Blessed be the keepers of the net, for they guard the gate of victory." And their work shall be recorded in the annals of the league, and their legacy shall be endured. As the Church of Pedersen proclaims, in the crease they are one. In their saves, they are eternal. And that's our take on the goalies. Now, of course, we do have unknowns that we need to be aware of. Biggest unknown being that of injury. Some people might say that there's unknowns in the players, but I think that what they're going to bring this season is known. But the unknown being injury and how that would impact this team. I think we're going to see some huge points from this team. And with having some cap space, they still can add another piece. And that's exciting following. Come on. Say it with me. Hail Petey. Let's see what this team can bring in with that cap space. Because could you imagine another high caliber player stepping into this lineup? Where would we put him? We got so much depth. That would be amazing. That would be a Petey send. That would be something that would push this team from getting into the playoffs to going for a run in the playoffs. All right, my following, the faithful flock that you are, we've just gone through it. The holy trinity of the first line. We're very excited to see these guys play. But we do have something for you. Now, being that this is our first podcast and that we still have many more to do, we want to save some of those amazingly awesome gifts for later on. If you've made it to the end here, my children, then comment below, I made it and I have faith in Petey. You comment that, again, I made it and I have faith in Petey. And the first one to do that is going to win a little prize from us. So thank you for listening. And as we leave this little gathering, let us skate into the world with the spirit of the holy Deaky Petey, fearless, swift, and always aiming for the net. May your passion for the game lift your hearts, your deeks break ankles, and your shots light the holy red lights. Go forth, spread the joy of the Canucks, and may Petey grace you with all. Amen.